Now, it was in the winter of 1991. A well-known celebrity had a very awkward experience in Indio, one that would be all but forgotten if not for a very unusual landmark. Our Steve Summerall explains in tonight's edition of Our Desert Past.
So did you hear the one about the televangelist who pulled into the parking lot of a convenience store in Indio and picked up a prostitute? This isn't a joke. These are the events of October 11th, 1991. And how do I know about this? Well, because of a very unusual landmark out of our desert past.
It wasn't shocking or unshocking, but it was the story of the time.
The time that Valley resident Bill Thomas is referring to is 1991, when an incident occurred that was the inspiration for this plaque, which sits outside the entrance to Clark's Travel Center on Indio Boulevard. It reads as follows: on this date, October 11th, 1991, Reverend Jimmy Swaggart picked up a date at Clark's Travel Center. Okay, so this is Indio, and Indio is known for dates, so why is this unusual? Well, anyone familiar with double entendres could tell you, it's not that kind of date.
This area was well known for after-hours curricular activity. You know, the prostitutes used to hang out back and forth here, so it was quite surprising to hear him be arrested for it.
And all of a sudden the doors to paradise swung open. Demons cowered behind leaping towers of flames.
This was the face of televangelism during the 1980s. During the height of his popularity, up to 3,000 stations and cable systems carried Jimmy Swaggart's weekly telecast, and his crusades across the United States, Canada, Europe, Africa, and South America would make him even more popular.
I have sinned against you, my Lord.
And this was the face of televangelism during February of 1988, when a live tearful confession was made by Swaggart after being implicated in a sex scandal involving a prostitute. This would result in his suspension and ultimately defrocking by the Assemblies of God.
Please welcome the Reverend Jimmy Swaggart.
And since this was the 80s, he would receive a little public shaming from the church lady as well.
Church lady, I'm not going to whitewash it. I let my church down, and I let my family down.
And didn't we let something else down, like our trousers?
So, Jimmy Swaggart learned his lesson and would not repeat this unsavory behavior that got him in so much trouble for 3 years. Then, on October 11th, 1991, in Indio, Swaggart was pulled over for driving on the wrong side of the road. He was with a young woman named Rosemary Garcia, who had no problem informing the press as to why she was in the car.
For sex. I mean, that's what he stopped me. That's what I do. I'm a prostitute. And he asked for sex.
Swaggart picked up Ms. Garcia at Clark's Travel Center, and thanks to this custom plaque commemorating the incident, anyone picking up coffee or lotto scratchers for the next 3 decades would know it. Are you surprised that it's still here?
No. I mean, why take it down? It's a nice plaque.
The media would flock to the desert to cover this story. But, unlike the 1988 incident, there would not be another tearful televised confession. Instead, Swaggart would tell his Baton Rouge congregation that he didn't know the press an explanation because he had spoken to the Lord, and the Lord said that it's none of their business.
How convenient.
For Our Desert Past, Steve Summerall, NBC Palm Springs, News First.
Well, Steve is certainly leaving no stone unturned. He's finding the good, the bad, the ugly out here in the valley.
He's about as good of an investigative journalist as we'll see.
Some good stuff. All right, we're back after this break. Stay with us.